You recently said no one can decide my sexuality, not even me. How do you feel about people pressuring you to label your sexuality when you're still discovering who you are?
Honestly, I don't mind it. And the reason why I don't mind it is because I think there's a lot of other people who are trying to figure out their own sexuality. And I think in their lives, they probably have people that are pressuring them as well. And so in a way, I get to be an example for those people that even when society or your closest people are putting a pressure on you, you don't need to know. Any member of the community is a member of the community, and no member is greater than another. And I think a lot of times some people think that they are greater than one another just because they're a little bit older or they have things a little more figured out. But truth be told, that's couldn't be further from the case at all. And I think a lot of times, as a world, we feel this sort of pressure to have it figured out, but that's so unrealistic. And also, anybody who's putting a pressure on me to figure it out needs to take a second and look in the mirror and realize that sexuality is fluid. And you might realize one thing about yourself today, and you might realize one thing about yourself tomorrow. And then another thing is that the whole thing that we preach as a beautiful community is that love is love. And that's a two-way street. Love is love any which way you look at it. I see other people, especially online, coming at me saying all these certain things and that yada 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 this, yada 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 that. And it's like, whoa, babe, love is literal love. And I was in a place in my life 7 years ago, I was at a place in my life 10 years ago, I was at a place in my life last year, I was at a place in my life a few months ago. And I think sometimes it's easier to hate than it is to love. And I think sometimes the community needs to, not the community, I think sometimes people need to realize that they're actually spreading hate in a community that is all about spreading love. And I think that's something that people need to look at when they are doing that.